Hey everyone. It's been a minute since I put a video out. I'm sorry about that. Tara and I have been traveling. We're all across Europe at the moment. You may have seen that on Mastodon or Blue Sky and such when I was complaining about nothing quite like foreign travel to make you miss American bathrooms and American conveniences like air conditioning and proper showers and so forth. Although I might as well rant about this. Can we all agree it's kind of universal? I don't know how the engineers of every hotel around the world, it unites us as a global people. You got a door between you and everything you don't like. That's the hallway, the people, the noise, the light, you name it. The gap on the bottom of that door, inch or more. The door between you and the bathroom, however, in your hotel, that's where all the engineers came from a space program. And they're like, let's get the micron level precision measurements out so that anything on the floor, like, a bath mat, gets scraped to hell. You got to stand practically on the toilet to get in and out of the bathroom. Good job, everybody. But this is not a video about travel rants. Good knows I could be a comedian and do a tight 5 on travel rants. This is a video about what gets me through travel. You've seen this bag before. You've seen it in photos, you've seen it in clips, you've seen it around. I've never actually told you what I keep in it and why. You seem to like my gear bag videos a lot. I've had a lot of ups and downs on this trip, but any problem I've come across, this bag has reliably solved it. So yeah, you want to learn what I keep in my travel bag that comes with me more than 50% of the time that I'm away from my own house? This is the video for you. It's a long one, but I hope it's a good one. Maybe I'll even figure out something I can give away at the end of this video. There's got to be at least one good thing in this bag that you might like. And if I think about it, I'll put it in the doobly-doo down at the bottom, all right? Enjoy. Yeah, so this backpack, you have seen it in lots of photos. If you met me in an airport, you've seen it there, but you've never seen inside of it. So let's methodically go bit by bit through its features and importantly, its contents. And maybe one or two little things that are useful to me might be useful to you. I don't know. People love freaking gear videos, man. You're all just like gadget hags. I understand. So yeah, bit by bit, piece by piece, what do I have on me all the time when I travel, and why can this one bag get me through any situation, including layovers, delays, problems, you name it. Have a bottle of water on you, seriously. I don't know how many times I've been uncomfortable traveling on a train, a plane, and it's been hot, crappy, shitty that you'd think water is so basic, but having a hydro flask, I pack mine full of ice. It's a real it makes my day so much bloody better. Let's look up here in this teeny pouch first, because I reach in and out of there more often than anything else when I'm going someplace. So sunglasses. I don't have expensive sunglasses. I have, cheap pieces of shit that I bought off of Amazon, and it doesn't matter if I break them, lose them, you name it, because I've got 8 billion pair of these. Containerization just remains the name of the game for me constantly. This always winds up in my seat back pocket. Got a USB cable, yes. I'm still trying to get away from USB-A. We got in-seat power. Most of the time it's A still these days. Priority pass, my Amex card, obviously, to get into various lounges. Yes, I do keep on me a pair of headphones. My phone doesn't obviously take headphones anymore, but how many times have you gotten on a plane and realized, oh yeah, the in-seat entertainment system, the IFE, you can't use AirPods with those. You can't use Buds with those. I mean, they're getting better. There are Bluetooth ones in a lot of the front cabins now, but the actual free headphones are complete garbage. They're unusable. So I keep a nice pair that I used to use more often when my phone had, earbuds. If you do want, I did a video about this a while ago, however. There are solutions like this that will allow you to connect to Bluetooth, right? Like I can connect my earbuds to this and wire this into the IFE. Real life changer. A little bit of floss, a little bit of extra, a leave, things like that, and a tiny phone stand, right? A lot of the time, the in-flight entertainment is great, but honestly, I'm just gonna watch whatever I've got downloaded on my phone. So yeah, tiny phone stand, that's about it. Having this in the seat back, it means I don't have to go fishing through my bag. I don't have to jump up constantly and root around in it. I grab this the moment I am getting on the jet bridge, throw it in my back pocket, and that just about does me right on the plane. I can charge, I can listen and play, I can sleep, I can do what I need to do with just something the size of a wallet. So what else is in this top pocket? Well, in addition to some pens and so forth, I do have my earbuds. You know, my friends at Modern Rogue, they mentioned Raycon so many times. They're actually pretty goddamn good. No, I don't have a coupon code or anything like that, but I do recommend them. So what else is in here? Well, tiny scissors. I know having blades on a plane is not super easy, but having a tiny pair of folding scissors, or quite frankly, a large pair of scissors, like I have my medical shears. We'll talk about the med supplies another time later on in this video, but just having these little Johns, again, like it saved me. There's sometimes you just need a blade and you're not gonna have your knife on you when you do a lot of air travel, but having folding scissors for those times when you need them, great to have. And you know, they're not gonna really show up. Like scissors are fine, you know this, right? The blade is less than 4 inches from fulcrum to tip. They don't have sharp, you know, stabby bits. This is actually allowed under basically all airline rules, but it still avoids questions, it avoids scrutiny if they don't look very much like scissors when they're packed away. Likewise, for small repairs and so forth, having a screwdriver. Now, is this the world's best screwdriver? No, of course it's not. It's Husky Home Depot brand. It's just a few really cheap bits. But why do I carry it around? Like normally I'd like really, really great tools. Is this a wonderful set of bits and a set of handle? No, it's because I can throw it away. I can throw these bits away. If security gets angry at me, I'm out, I don't know, $7. Yeah, I used to keep a really nice multi-bit Vera German set, and I was like, yeah, no matter what I come across, I can fix it. And then I realized all it would take would be one security asshole to deny me, and that's like an $80 set. No, thank you. Sometimes shittier is better. And lastly, what else? The final thing in here in this top pouch, I don't remember exactly where I came across these. If you're not familiar with them, someone in the music industry, I think, must have given them to me. These are hearing protection of sorts. I wouldn't wear them shooting, right? But they are designed to be very high fidelity. So if I'm going to concerts or parties or something, I will occasionally put these in. We've talked occasionally on the channel about my hearing problems. And we'll do another video about protecting your earballs and such, but I do have these around if I want to enjoy my surroundings, but it's just a little too loud for me when I wind up someplace. If I don't want to listen to anyone at all, I mean, these are noise canceling. I have them on the flight, I can sleep, I can do whatever I need with that. That, plus some writing implements, that gets you through most things on the top pouch. Hey everyone, Editing Dave, back home after all these trips. Didn't mention it in the video. Regarding writing implements, please get yourself some Sharpies. I am a big fan of the double-ended one. You're filling out something, you know, tiny is great, but if you need to put a bag tag or something that's going to be actually noticeable by any kind of worker, having the fat point as well, good thing. I live and die by these Sharpies. Since I mentioned it a little bit before, medical gear on the outsides, right? Over here, little CPR airway protecting mask. If you're not familiar with these, I mean, I've used them before, obviously. I've done lifeguard training, lifeguard work, first aid, so forth. Never really needed it in the real world, thankfully. Just like never needed the tourniquet in the real world also, thankfully very much. But again, having a good one on you, that's just part of having an IFAC, an aid kit, in my opinion. I mentioned the medical shears. No, I mean, I don't really, thankfully, ever have to cut clothing off in the real world when I'm traveling through airports. Most of the time, those are for snipping off the zip ties of freedom that people put on those gun cases. But having a little first aid kit down in here, this actually has come into play for me when I've been traveling. This is a lot of the reason I'm very happy to do this video is it's going to make me cycle out and change things, namely this TK4 tourniquet. This is a little spare backup guy. How good it is as a tourniquet, sound off in the comments if you're not familiar with the TK4 style. Most of the time, little boo-boos and owies, right? So you've got a little styptic fluid, you've got some Band-Aids, you've got a little bit of triple antibiotic. I do have gauze pads. I mean, I have used these before. In fact, this, more than anything, there's been some serious freaking injuries that I've gotten to in airports, and I was the first one there. Las Vegas, you know, Las Vegas, you got the big escalators that go down, and there's the big stone creatures like the awesome little stone lizard. Those escalators are long. And I witnessed a guy once, just a little bit in front of me, who was pretty lubed, and he took a fucking tumble. Like, he face planted down this. He ripped himself open. So I got down there and, you know, I pulled out some gloves and so forth. It's always good to have some you know, little gloves on you if you're going to do something messy. And I was actually trying to do some quick clot and some gauze on this poor guy's face as they were scrambling medical staff in the airport. So yeah, having a little bit of an aid pouch on the side might look tactical douchebag, but I've used this. The front pouch. This is an interesting bit of kit, by the way. I have this mounted a little differently. The way this backpack comes, this is designed to actually mount in reverse. So you could imagine if you flop this down, there would be an open pocket up here. The idea being that you would actually put a rifle right through, you know, you could actually sling a rifle with the butt end into here, and then you would, you know, put your front straps around the rifle here. It's an interesting thing. I never use it that way. I just have this as a general dump, throw, stash things in here. I've got a little notepad in here for now. But yeah, I don't need the front pouch here. What I opted to add was this extra admin pouch. This is kind of all of my charge and operate your tech when on the road. Let's take a little deeper dive into this. All right, as you could imagine, charging your devices, starting with this little outside pouch. That is the most common one I reach into. I don't even have to unzip anything because I will always have my main charger, which, by the way, if you're at Red Team Alliance, you're in any of our classes, this is what we use for everything. Ultra compact, high-speed charger with A and C. Yes, I've got my C cable in there. Yeah, sure, it's a long one. But again, like you're in freaking hotel rooms that don't have sensible places for the outlets. Also hiding underneath both of those, 2 adapters. Multi-way plug makes me the most popular person in the airport when I need to steal some power off an outlet. And I have a much bigger, as you saw, world adapter. But in general, the little Euro adapter, you can buy, I think there's like a 6-pack of these for $1 or some bullshit on Amazon. A lot of the stuff I'm talking to you, I'm going to link to down in the doobly-doo. They're not sponsored links. You know all that about me. But yeah, here I am. Like, again, I'm overseas right now. I'm shoving this into the wall all the time. Underneath here, however, again, batteries and cables, batteries and cables. That's pretty much what you're looking at. This used to be my standard charger back when I used to be able to actually power my laptop from this sucker. This is a 65-watt output by Energy, I believe. Yeah, really nice one. Just I still had it. Keep a spare one around. This world chart, I mean, again, I'm going to drop you a link below if you want it. I adore the design of this. Why is the Euro adapter so long and chunky like this? And what is this thing here? Well, of course, yeah, you can do your Australia, your China, etc. These little pop-out wings, you know what they're for? This will actually do the dumbass British plug. How can you do that? See these little curved slots here? And you've got little curved notches stuck in here. If I want, these prongs will actually fit in a British wall plug. What you can't do, however, is get them in there, because if you're not familiar with this, the British wall plugs, they all have safety shutters, and the ground plug has to go in first. That's why getting a slim world charger is actually hard. The British plug is the one that, I mean, it's a very safe design. It's a very cool design in terms of engineering. It's annoying as piss, because every British plug is bigger than my freaking fist. You drop this guy out here. What can you do there? Well, let's find ourselves this little slot, and kerchunk. There you go. You've just made a British plug. This will pop in, pop the shutters. These will, no matter what kind of plug you can kind of squeeze and compressify these all around the world. This will work. Moving on over. The little Gerber shard style tool. This was obviously, how old is this giveaway? Back when RIM was still making products. And what do I have on this keychain as well? Well, I've got my TSA keys, because why not have my TSA keys? Little comb pickaroo and some, it's just extra, you know, spare keys and shit. I might eventually either phase this out or get a better one. I've been in rental cars in the past, and they didn't have, you know, plug adapters for phones. Frankly, every rental car not only nowadays has a plug, it's probably USB-C most of the time in cars. Do I think I'm going to keep this around? Probably not. Or at the very least, I'm going to get one that's USB-C, because my whole life is USB-C now. Again, more USB-C cables, and a battery bank, right? Anker makes these. This is another one. Great for an upgrade, though. This has plenty of power in her. no USB-C, right? We've got to make that better. Hey, Editing Dave here. I did wind up picking up a new battery adapter that has USB-C built right in. You might notice it's a little bit smaller. Well, this one from Anker, I suspect they may have crammed a 26650 in here. Dollars to donuts, this is going to be an 18650. It's still fine for charging a phone. In fact, I've been playing around with this. It comes in a 2-pack. I found for amazing, like, I don't know how they're this cheap. Again, link down there. From a brand no one has ever heard of and never will again in 6 months. But for the time I got it, it has been able, in about an hour, to take my phone consistently from 20% up to about 80% with a pretty rapid charge. It charges itself. It also will charge over USB. This is an input and output through the C port, so I like it. We're going to keep that in there, see how she fares on future trips. Again, USB-C everything. I still keep stupid chargers around for outdated bullshit, which aren't we all very glad that Apple finally killed that in their new phone? Once Tara gets a new one of those, you can bet I'm never going to carry that around ever again. This extra pouch up here, that is where I keep other flag patches. You know, Americans aren't very popular around the world. What are you going to do? It's very typical to see me go ahead and say, oh, I'm traveling international. You know, you're never going to believe me as a nice, thin, svelte Italian or something, but I look kind of Canadian. Let's be honest, traveling around the world, like there's Molly all over this. I'm not trying to go gray man or something, but I have literally had people ask me where in Canada I'm from. So the patch is doing its job. And lastly, you saw there's one additional zipper pouch in here. Zipper keeps things pretty secured. That is where I do keep a passport and, kind of fun, an international driving permit. If you're not familiar, find out about these. Essentially, it just says, yeah, you understand what driving licensure means and laws. This and a passport, keep that always on you if you just want to be able to bounce somewhere in the world with a moment's notice. There's really almost no reason in my world to not have my passport on me, even if I'm just traveling domestically. I travel at a moment's notice. I might get called to go here, there, and everywhere. Having it on me, and again, I never forget to bring it to the airport because it's in my travel bag that's always coming with me to the airport. Now, before we dive into the main event, the main big pouch, there's a couple little things that you might have noticed decorating the top of this bag. And no, I don't mean the assorted, you know, moto patches. You may have seen these strings. Like, I don't know if you've ever got a bag with one of these kind of setups. If you don't, I love this feature. What are these for? These drawstrings, if I pull them out, this is an extra stowage spot. Let's say I'm wearing a sweater, a jumper, who knows what kind of top layer. You can go ahead, roll her up. You can stash that right up on top of here. Cinch down, over here, cinch down. And that, it's great. It's super rapid access. I have been in all kind of different weather, traveling with a hoodie, a raincoat. These are huge. They're massively huge. You've also probably seen on the bottom side, right? I added cheap straps from Amazon. I can throw a whole bag underneath here. I have traveled spur of the moment with no checked bag, just like almost a gym bag sized extra bag of a few days worth of clothes, like a 3-day pack. Clipped it right on under with these straps. That's all I need. Blasted right through the airport all over the world. Having some extra stowage spots like these, big, big difference. And now, the main pouch. What do I have in here? Well, let's go through it. One more time during the edit, I realized I completely neglected to even show you this pouch, did I? Only a couple things in here, very useful. A Novid spray, we'll talk about this in the COVID land. I've mentioned it before. You know what? Tara and I weren't masking on planes and stuff because that's impossible in a 10-hour flight, and we didn't get anything. So there's your anecdata. Having Ziploc bags. How did I not mention that? If you're going to lounge liberate yourself some snacks, being able to stow them in something. I keep a few Ziplocs all the time. And I'm not a smoker, but having a lighter. If you have loose ends, loose threads, things that are fraying, all your modern stuff is, it's polymer, it's plastic. You can sort out little frazzly bits pretty easily in a way that won't keep fraying if you have a lighter on hand. Don't do it on a plane. I do not recommend, let me be very clear about this. I do not recommend you producing a lighter from your bag and then trying to like burn stuff on your bag in view of other passengers. That you're gonna have a bad time. In the top, this little bag from L'Occitane. It fits nicely in this rounded cutout. I couldn't have done better with that. This is my, well, hyper dangerous collection of, you know, cutlery that I can have on board of a plane. You've seen my deadbolt strap. Couple of cheapo locks. You'd think, well, what is Dave doing with master lock, TSA lock? Are you freaking kidding me here? Yeah, you know what? They are lifesavers on the random chance that you need to secure a Pelican case because of some rule. Maybe you're traveling, maybe I picked up a firearm. Maybe I've literally done that. I've been somewhere, I'm like, oh, wow, I'm gonna, you know, this is a firearm. I bring it home from this match or whatever. I'm like, oh, crap, I didn't actually bring a gun case. I can lock my case if I have to. I've locked lockers in hostels and stuff around the world. Yeah, having a few ball crap locks, not the worst thing ever. Huh, peephole reverser. If you're not familiar with these, they're useful. I mean, do I need this when I'm traveling around the world? No, but I absolutely have looked in on one of my colleagues' hotel rooms once when they said, oh, you know, no one's in there. You know, I was like, are you sure? It sure sounds like someone's in your room. And they said, no, no one should be up there right now. They're in the room next to me. I poked my view through there, and I did see that the maid was in there and had closed the door, which was very strange. Small sewing kit, some safety pins. What can I say? I'm an American. I like my food flavorful. I've got some spicy seasoning, and I've got some McCormick, you know, Montreal steak shake, which you can put this on any horrible, bland food around the world, make it taste a million times better. Little bitty controller. Why? Well, because I've got a NES emulator on my phone. I can play SNES games, regular NES games. Yeah, it's teeny tiny, but sure, she works. Public speaking and so forth. You get some lemon tea, you get some honey in there, a couple of things to suck on. You know, trying to present all around the world and I'm running place to place can be hard, but let me tell you, you know one of the best upgrades in my life? What are these little braided cables? Why do I have them? How many of you rent cars? We've talked about me and rental cars, right? And a rental car, you know, modern cars have those giant key fobs, and they have multiple key fobs. Well, they don't want to lose the key fobs. So when you rent a car, you get something the size of a hand grenade, of like 2 or even 3 key fobs all chained together. First thing I do is cut that. I can cut through them with my shears if I have to. Cut that cable off, throw the other key fobs in a drawer for your trip, and just before you return the rental car, you put them back together. I've never had anyone question me just because I put them back on one of these braided cables. And yeah, I don't have to carry something this big in my pocket the whole time I'm driving around some other country. Next layer down, sundry kit. I got this in the front cabin of some airplane at one point, and now I've modified it over the years. I've added to it. We'll go look through this if you want. I mean, it's not really that interesting, but again, maybe you get some ideas. Do you need to know what's in a sundry kit? Probably not. It's the basics, right? I got a toothbrush I actually had to Dremel down to fit in there. Do you need a giant toothpaste? No, you don't. Do you need a giant talcum powder? No, you don't. The smallest of all the things, the kind of amenities you get sometimes from an airline are fine. I wish I could get a smaller deodorant than this. This is the smallest one I could find. You got a better idea for me online? Please tell me down below. Beard care, man. A little bit of shea butter and a beard comb. Got to keep looking pretty for you on that camera, right? Couple of wet wipes. Here's a big one about medicines. You don't need the multi-pack. Remember, this is a 24-hour problem solver bag. You don't need the super multi-pack. Put a couple of NyQuil, maybe a couple of Dayquil, a couple of Imodium, a couple of ginger pills, a couple of throat lozenges. You don't need the full smash. Boo-boos and owies, again, like, I've been on a plane trying to like pick a hangnail and I'm bleeding. Just a couple squirts of the styptic fluid instead of messing around with the Band-Aids. These are quick fixes. And again, like little folding scissors. Do I use these for hygiene? Not nearly as much as I use them for utility. And they're not going to look like scissors on an X-ray scanner. I get stopped a lot at security. People always ask me about, you stopped it. Never for this shit. Always for something. Usually those food bars. You know, food bars, because they're organic, they show up as a weird block of like orange on the scanner. So if you're going to cut anything out of this whole kit to make your life smoother, take fewer food bars or different, I don't know, take a pack of Soylent or something. That's not going to show up looking like plastique. Having additional bags. Got this at Tour Camp. Again, it's just a drawstring, quick bag, but to bang around the city, I'm leaving the hotel room, I want to bring a coat or something with me. I'm not going to bring my whole travel backpack. This is fine for a moment or two. It's not going to last you around the whole globe a billion times like a big rugged bag. Nice to have. Speaking of additional bags, have you all ever seen one of these before? A little blowout pouch. I can stick an entire bottle of whiskey or wine in this. Just like that. I've literally done this. I've walked through the airport, hit duty free, shoved a bottle in here, didn't have to fumble, fart around. It's not going anywhere. It's rugged as all giddy up, even though it's thin. Yeah, love to have those little rapid deployment pouches. This did not come with this backpack, but it's a very popular add-on. You can see it's built to actually cinch right in here. We've got some extra pouches in here. What do we got? Snacks! Holy crap, layovers, delays, you land at the Scandawija Hotel at 2 in the morning, nothing's open, get yourself a bar, and because I'm a device addict, yes, I have spare phones. My emergency communications kit. My old phone, I keep it in here, in that waterproof pouch that you saw. And a super cheap, I'll drop a link to this somewhere below, a super cheap, this weighs nothing, rugged as hell brick phone. I can use this with international SIMs, even in places where a smartphone might be weird or not work. I have used this more than you can believe around the world, especially in shady countries. I keep it on me. I don't need it as much, but I think this was 20 bucks. And it was quad band. Every country it's going to have some cell tower that this will hit. You throw a prepaid SIM in there, you throw a cheap local SIM. And speaking of SIMs, yes, I have a spare SIM. If my main phone just blows up, your light's on fire, I would not be in the best position, right? The first thing I would do is fire this up, get it on Wi-Fi, and I'll be able to connect back to a lot of my people, various places. If I wanted to actually activate a SIM, calling T-Mobile and saying, hey, my old SIM's destroyed, here's my password, here's my bip, bop, bop. I can throw this in the smartphone or even just in the brick phone and get my life back up and running with a lot of communication very quickly. Consider that if you travel to a lot of, we'll call them risky places around the world. You might be able to see something else is hiding in here. I thought I was done with USB-A. Only USB-C, right? Well, you can kind of see it on camera. What is that? What is it? You know what that is. This is a hidden camera. This is a hidden camera phone charger. Again, do I need it all the time? No, I clearly don't have it plugged in this hotel room. But if I'm traveling to a part of the world, like if I'm in the Sandbox or something, you better believe I want to know who's coming and going to our hotel rooms when we're downstairs at meetings and such. That's getting plugged in and reviewed later. Down in this zipper pouch, what do I have in here? Well, got another bag. This, I've talked about putting something underneath the whole bag down in these straps on the bottom. This is an ideal bag for it. Shove your old dirty clothes in there, shove new clothes, shove something you purchased in there. It's going to come with you just fine. And if I may encourage you, if you're like me, do you wear jeans everywhere, just blue jeans constantly? Sometimes, not often, because Levi's are pretty strong, robust stuff, or Wranglers or whatever I'm wearing are going to be pretty okay, but sometimes I will get a tear. I'll literally rip the knee. If I'm around the world, I got that sewing kit, or throw these in your bag. Again, like a couple of bucks on Amazon. These are iron-on jean repair, right? Put them on the inside. Being able to solve that problem in my hotel room in 10 seconds instead of 10 minutes can make or break my trip. Best, I've used them on trips. I remember the last time I did because, well, I freaking took a spill when I was riding like on the back of someone's motorcycle. I tore up my jeans and, yep, fixed it instantly. Didn't fix my knee quite as fast, but, whiskey solved that. A lot of you have been seeing this last thing, and it's got some heft to it. This is always in the bottom of the bag. Before I get to it, a quickie for you. Yes, I always do have my printouts that I've laminated, because I'm a crazy person, of various TSA rules, so I don't have to argue with them about things like pepper spray, blades, scissors, you name it. Lockpicks. If you're not familiar, Tool has a bunch of information about lockpicks and flying with them on our Tool website. But keeping flat rate prepaid, I actually, with my own address and everything, these are ready to go. I have had problems, usually at like airport security, where I've forgotten that I had a knife on me or something. I whip one of these out, throw it in there, pitch it in a mailbox. It's waiting for me at home. These have saved my butt before. You prepay for the thing one time, you never think about it ever again. It's always in the bottom of your travel bag. Consider it. And finally, this little packing cube. This is why I can grab this bag and basically be fine in any scenario you could think of. Got a little shemagh. That's going to help me out in all kinds of weather. A change of socks and underwear and a basically all-weather, kind of like an Under Armour t-shirt. I don't think it's Under Armour, but stuff I can wash in a sink, and importantly, just kept in a weatherproof bag. If this whole backpack gets dunked in a river, if I had to literally escape in a water landing out the jet bridge, well, you shouldn't be grabbing your shit from under your seat, should you? But if I somehow had this on me, I'd get to my complimentary, we're sorry we crashed the plane hotel room, I could change into clean clothes. Always have something warm. Yes, I've got a little waffle knit sweater. And then what's this? I can convert almost any outfit into a winter outfit with long underwear. I have literally unexpectedly gone to Norway for a weekend, and I wore these under my jeans in February. I was fine. I also wear these to sleep, like pajamas, when when I'm flying on a plane and I'm flying on an overnight. If I stretch the seat out into a bed or whatever, yeah, they don't. It's really I'm living it up there, but they don't give you pajamas. These are fine. What's this? It is essentially a rain hoodie, lightweight, thin, still waterproof. Again, if I land somewhere, I'm not schlepping an umbrella. If I land somewhere and it's raining, throw this on over top of anything I got. I'm great. And a little hamper bag in case I got to change. Yeah, this little packing cube right here that lives down in the bottom of my backpack, that is sort of a 24-hour problem solver. That's why this whole bag really is, it is a grab and go. I can lose all my luggage. I can travel without luggage, especially if I'm going somewhere that I already have clothes or have connections. This bag right here gets me through a day. Every other kind of problem that I might have, you solve with a credit card, right? But the first 24 hours, you're stuck in a hotel room, you're stuck in an unexpected city, that's got me covered. So you've seen the ins, you've seen the outs, you've seen the stuff that I carry. I'll put some links down in the places. They're not sponsored. If anything is useful for you, maybe that makes your life better. I know this bag makes my life infinitely better. I've had her for a decade. The way it's kicking, I'm going to have it for another 10 years. But we fly tomorrow, so I got to get myself back in, nice person mode, right? I'm a nice, friendly guy. Nothing dangerous about me. You should not think of me as a security risk at all. Tara, are we flying out of Charles de Gaulle tomorrow? What's the deal?
No, I think we're flying out of Heathrow. We're taking the Eurostar to London.
Stay safe out there.